Welcome one, welcome all, and welcome to Friday Fright Time, where every week I, Connor, along with my trusty sidekicks, Kofi and Stu, dissect horror movies from throughout history, tearing our favourite, most memorable moments to pieces. It's Christmas Day here at UTG headquarters, and I suppose it's Christmas Day everywhere else as well, when I think about it. And that means we need to get stuck into our first Christmas film. And what better gift they gave to the Ghoul gang? That was harder to say than I thought.
That was nice.
Than a bunch of Gremlins. Yes, Joe Dante and Steven Spielberg's 1984 blockbuster hit. Budget, guys, 11 million, but it made 212.9 million at the box office.
Let's go.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And it came out on the same day as Ghostbusters. What a fucking day in history that was.
That's mad. I mean, Ghostbusters was obviously epic as well, right?
Yeah, that's definitely one we need to get to down the line. But first, the movie begins as movies do. Stu, where are we starting Gremlins off?
The film opens with a narrator saying, "Hi, my name's Peltzer," and that's me there on the corner. But on the corner is just a woman being fingered by a sailor.
What? Did not clock this.
I did not see that at all either.
You can rewind it on the edit.
Wow.
And as he says, "Hi, that's me," on the corner there, the sailor and the woman sort of walk past him hand in hand a few minutes later as well. So
Oh, great.
I had to work out which one Peltzer was. I assume it wasn't the woman or the sailor. I was a bit thrown originally. But it turns out Peltzer is looking for a gift for his son. So naturally, he follows a small Chinese boy down into an underground shop. As you do. Turns out his grandfather owns it. He goes down there. There's loads of all, these old Chinese artifacts. There's these decorative items. But this fat cunt Peltzer, he points at some candles and goes, "Are those things real?" It really pissed me off. Obviously, he then finds the cutest fucking thing in the world, other than me. He finds Gizmo.
Yes, he does, in a little chest.
He finds him singing like Jigglypuff in the corner.
Oh, he does as well.
It's a little
Good shout.
Jigglypuff song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does anyone care to recreate Jigglypuff's song?
I think when it comes to impressions on the show, the only man for the job.
Sake.
It's Kofi.
I don't really remember the song.
Oh, he does what all fucking Pokemon do. He just says his name, Kofi.
He just says, what, Mogwai?
No, Jigglypuff, you twat.
Jigglypuff. There you go.
It was fucking angelic.
Angelic voice.
You've got the fucking most angelic voice I've ever heard.
Thank you.
Peltzer really fucks me off in this film because when he's in a Chinese shop, he says, "This is exactly what I've been looking for my son." No one has ever seen these things before because they were in a fucking giant, weird Chinese shop full of mythical items. So how can he have been looking for that exact thing because he never knew what the fuck it was? It then comes up moments later with, the Gremlins banner on the screen. That town looks fucking incredible. When we have our UTG office, we need to relocate wherever the fuck that was immediately.
The town that was used is like a big set in Universal Studios. It's the same town they filmed Back to the Future in.
Let's fucking go there.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd go there.
We just need a DeLorean to get there, right?
It's alright, I'm sure the budget from our 100 views an episode will get us there.
The second it actually goes into the town, some kid just fucking nails a girl point blank range with this massive snowball. He fucking nails her and she instantly retaliates and it looks like someone tries to uppercut her.
We are in this town for the movie and we get introduced to Billy, who is the son of Peltzer, the guy from the beginning who entered the Chinese shop, and he works at a bank, and right away we get this old bitch who comes into the bank.
Fucking hell.
I was like, it's me! She's alive! Can't believe it!
Should we talk about Mrs. fucking Deagle?
Yes, please.
Just this woman storming through the town holding a massive snowman's head. People are like, "Hello," and she's like, getting proper angry at at them and shouting at them for no reason. Someone comes up and says like, oh, I've just got a new job and I think my rent's not going to come in very easily quite soon, so can you ask the landlord to give us a bit more time? And she's like, I'm in the business of making money. No, leave me alone. Go away. She like hates everyone. And she walks in the bank, past everyone, barges past them all, shoves this snowman head on the counter to Billy and says, your dog broke the rest of my snowman. He's like a really nice guy, isn't he? He's like, oh, sorry, well, just let me know how much it costs. I'll pay you it. And she essentially goes, I don't want any money. I want to kill your dog.
Yeah!
She's a fucking prick, and she's proper like, oh, what I'll do is I'll put him in my fucking dryer on high heat for him to have a slow, painful death. She is horrific.
The guy in the background is even worse than her because she goes, I'm going to put your fucking dog in a spin dryer, and some guy behind her just goes, that'll do it. But that dog is obviously related to Zoltan because as soon as she threatens the dog, he just fucking jumps over the counter and proceeds to just try and tear her face off. He just fucking mauls her.
Do it, Billy's dog. Break the snowman.
Do not end up in the spin dryer.
Remarkable work by the dog actor.
Oh, the dog actor was fucking brilliant. Maybe it was Vern Troyer in a little dog costume.
Oh, yes! Corey Feldman, a very young Corey Feldman, comes in dressed as a Christmas tree.
Yes.
Just why? Is he Billy's brother or like Billy's mate? Something like that. I'll cut this. For continuity.
Now leave that in, please.
Okay, and it's in. Yeah, and he comes in, and by this point, Billy's being given Gizmo, and his dad says all of the classic Mogwai rules, which are keep them out of light, especially sunlight, don't get them wet, and don't feed them after midnight. So what happens, fucking 20 minutes into the film, oh yeah, it gets wet, and Billy's like, it's nothing, it's just water. You've been warned, don't get it wet. Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's just water.
Oh
Why
God.
didn't you fucking move your water out the room then? We got the Gremlins anyway that start getting created because Corey Feldman, the little cunt, spills Billy's paintbrush water all over them.
What a twat.
Yeah, and this starts making Gizmo fire little hairy balls all over his bedroom, which grow into other Mogwai.
Probably not the only time he's fired his little hairy balls all over that bedroom.
Jesus! The dog actor here, he's putting in a shift as well because he's been tied up by the Christmas lights.
He has. Oh, I felt kind of sorry for that dog.
Yeah.
But then, like, Billy walks out and he's like, who did this to you?
Mrs. fucking Deagle.
Yeah, it's Mrs. Deagle in it.
To be fair, would you immediately go, oh, it's these little tiny cute things?
Or the woman who's been fucking saying she'll put my dog in a dryer.
Gizmo's the well-behaved one. He just sort of looks after himself.
Sits there, doesn't he?
But then all the other gremlins are just fucking about in the sitting room playing like video games and like hitting each other and stuff until they say that they're hungry. So Billy goes to the fridge and like any typical American household, luckily they've got an entire plate of chicken drumsticks in the fridge just in case anyone's peckish.
Between filming, that fridge got turned off. So when they kept going back to it, it fucking stunk and everyone had a hard time filming with it.
Oh, fuck's
Fucking
sake. There's just so many, like, amazing facts about this film. I'll tell you one of them. The gremlin puppets themselves. The reason that they were animatronics in the end, costing about 30 to 40 grand each.
Jesus.
Originally, they planned that the gremlins should be played by monkeys in suits.
Fuck off.
Then
No
they
way.
tried it. They had the test monkey and they tried to put a gremlin mask on it and it panicked and destroyed the office and shit all over the floor.
That is amazing.
Fucking hell.
Incredible. Unfortunately, they're not monkey people. They're just animatronic puppets. But they look fucking awesome.
I think they're really good for that time. Like,
The only bit that I really didn't like was where there's loads of them and they come running out for the town and they clearly used like a bit of stop animation.
Oh, you hated it?
When they all came running out and it was like stop frame, it looked really shit compared to like how they had done it the whole rest of the time.
yeah, it's just because of the switching, like, animation style, really.
Yeah, I thought it looked really bad. There were 3 bits that I fucking loved about this film though. One of them was Gizmo playing the trumpet under the Christmas tree. That was fucking wonderful. The other bit was the gremlin riding the bike through the candy store.
Yes.
And he looks like the puppet from Saw.
Oh, on the little tricycle,
Yeah,
you
he
mean?
looks fucking brilliant riding through the shop on his bike.
I looked at that and thought, Robert the Tyre has got another job.
Maybe he was. It was a possessed troik, wasn't it?
That's why they all went to Hollywood at the end of the film, because they were going to film Gremlins.
Oh my god, we fucking nailed it. Nah, but my favourite bit of the entire film is where Gizmo is basically recreating Tokyo Drift in his little pink convertible.
Little fucking Barbie car.
He's flying over ramps until he just crashes into a wall and nearly dies. And it's just like someone's thrown the puppet against the wall. But until that point, him cruising around in his little car is fucking brilliant, especially when he nearly runs over the dog.
That's great that the dog fucking shits itself. Again, great dog actor.
The dog thought that Gizmo was a real animal
Yeah.
for quite a lot of it, and at one point just tore its ear off.
Apparently all the Gizmo puppets malfunction quite a lot because the Gremlins were like a lot bigger, so they didn't have as many problems with them, but the Gizmos were a lot smaller, so they had more issues. And the crew who were doing all of the special effects got so pissed off about the Gizmos that they made a list called the horrible things to do to Gizmo list. On that list was to tie him to a dartboard and throw darts at it. So when the director found out about that list, he was like, right, we're putting that scene in for you guys and all your hard work.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Those fucking other Gremlins are absolute knobs, aren't they? I can't believe they're just nasty to him all the time and his little sad face. Oh, it's so upsetting.
When he's on the bed, you would have thought there was someone underneath it kind of controlling it. I didn't realise it was like fully animatronic.
There is a Gremlin who does have hand puppets at one point.
There is.
Oh yeah.
There is.
And then just after that as well, one of them is just wearing a fucking trench coat and he just flashes.
Yes. I love how when they're in the cinema, they're all dressed up as different things as well. There's one with like Mickey Mouse ears on. There's one with like a popcorn bucket on his head with the eye holes cut out. They're all dressed up. They're really funny when they're in the cinema.
When they were all watching Snow White as well, yeah, and they start singing Hi-Ho.
Yeah, they fucking love it. They love it.
And then Gizmo's with Billy and that, and he starts singing it really quietly, doesn't he?
Yeah. Just on his backpack, like, Hi-Ho. Oh, incredible.
While we're talking about Gizmo, do you know who voiced that?
It was fucking Howie Mandel.
It was, yeah, Mr. fucking American Idol himself.
Howie Mandel!
Howie Mandel.
All I see is that like episode of whichever show he's on, X Factor, whatever, where he has to wear like a puppet face and the act like does the voice for him.
Oh, I know what you mean, yeah.
If only they used monkey people.
One thing I did notice about this film is that like there was a bunch of racist people in it, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Just random people going, oh my god, I can't believe foreign TV. And that fucking drunk man's like, oh, you gotta watch out for foreigners because they plant gremlins in all the machinery. What?
The dad, when he's in the Chinese shop, it's like, oh, my little device here, it'll get rid of the dragon breath.
Yeah, and he corrects himself, doesn't he? And he's like, oh, bad breath.
Yeah.
Who gets killed by the gremlins first?
Isn't it the guy that gives him a snicker under the table?
Oh, yeah.
The science black guy. I'm not sure, like, if he dies by the gremlin, like, biting his hand off, or biting his head off, or from the needle that's in his ass.
Oh, yeah.
It gets to a point in the film where we've had all the build-up. The last 45 minutes of the film is just fucking chaos.
It is carnage.
In the middle of this chaos, you've got two police officers going round trying to keep
Idiots.
some law and order. One of them, fucking Mike from Breaking Bad.
Yes, it's
Is it?
yeah, I don't know what else to say to that, but it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe you.
But yeah, these two officers are rolling around and they've got such a casual attitude because there's a guy dressed as Santa and he's just getting absolutely fucking mauled. And they're just sitting in the car and they go, oh yeah, that's just Dave. He dresses like Santa every year.
They just don't give a shit when people are dying. There's like an old woman that gets flung out a window and they're just like, I can't even remember her
Mate,
name.
that's fucking Mrs. Deagle.
That's it, Deagle. And they're just like, hey, it's Mrs. Deagle. After she's just flown past them.
She 100% deserved much worse than that. She just sat on a stair lift, doesn't she? And it decides to go 100 miles an hour up the fucking stairs. And chuck her out of a top window.
Yeah. I love the bit where the mum finds the gremlins in the house, so she grabs a knife. And she like fucking stabs one to death. She absolutely rattles him with this knife. And then she fucking grabs one and just shoves it in the microwave and just fucking slaps that bad boy on.
She walks in the kitchen and there's one eating like the processed orange juice, so she just turns it on.
Eventually she gets a little bit overrun, so it's a good job like any other typical American household. They've got broadswords on the fucking living room wall.
Oh, and he's just whoosh,
into the fireplace.
beautiful.
One of Gizmo's offspring has like a Mohican, doesn't he? And I think they give him a nickname, Stripe.
Stripe, yeah.
Billy like sees Stripe. I can't believe how fucking stupid he is. He has a gun pointed at him and he's just like, oh, hi there.
Hello.
Hello.
And then he gets shot and he's like, oh, fucking hell, Jesus Christ, what are you doing? Oh my god. And then Stripe decides to get a fucking shower.
Yeah, he does as well, because obviously the water thing.
Gonna have more kids now, way! And Gizmo runs in his little pink fucking car, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Smashes against the wall.
My best bit of dialogue in the film. You've got Katie, the girl from the bank, and she... so fucking stupid. She tells the story about how her dad died, and you're expecting this big, momentous, emotional story for us to feel sorry for her. The story is that her dad, dressed as Santa, tried to climb down the chimney with his arms full of presents to surprise her, but he slipped and broke his neck and died instantly.
And the way they found him was like it had been a day or something, and they just found him rotting in the chimney. And at this point, the camera pans to Gizmo and he's sat giggling.
The original story for Gremlins is way more like vicious and gory than the film. They dumbed it down a bit and made it a bit more palatable for general watchers, but I still think they did like a fantastic job with it. It kind of falls under the horror category. They kind of made it funny and cute enough that it's something that you can just generally watch.
This was one of the movies that led to the PG-13 age rating from being introduced, because before that you had sort of like PG films, which were all your kids' movies, and then you had the R rating. So this film isn't bad enough to be an R rating, and it's not kid-friendly enough to be a PG. So this helped to sort of bring that whole new age certification in America and sort of change the way that films were done. But if it was even more like horrifying and had even more gore in it, like I know the original script was meant to have Billy's mum have her head chopped off and thrown down the stairs, that it wouldn't have made anywhere near this like $200 million plus.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they had gone down that super gory route, it probably wouldn't have been anywhere near as enjoyable as it was.
Yeah.
Overall, and as I say, I know it's kind of a film that is loved by many, but I think Gremlins is a fantastic film, and fucking what a great episode to do for Christmas Day on the channel and have as a review. I really enjoyed this one.
Your thoughts as well, Corf?
I think that for its time it was decent. Obviously, if I'd watched it back then, it would have been much better, but I didn't like grow up watching it or anything either, so I haven't got like an emotional attachment to it.
Yeah.
It was like alright to watch, but I tried to watch it like I was watching it back then, if you know what I mean. I can appreciate it, but I didn't enjoy it very much.
Ah, interesting comment. Yes, I would agree more with Stu's side, although I do see...
Fuck you, Kofi.
No. I will say for me personally, it's the first time I've actually watched it all the way through. I have obviously seen it as a kid, bits here and there. I remember watching Gremlins 2 a lot more, which is fucking class. We need to watch that at some point.
Yeah, we'll get it watched.
Watching it with a fresh pair of eyes, which don't work very well because I wear glasses, it was okay. It's got some really funny standout moments. I think the first half an hour or so is a little bit slow, because really all you come to see the film for is to watch the Gremlins go fucking wild. But it takes about like 40-45 minutes for that to start happening properly. A lot of the characters are just a bit throwaway, really. I didn't care about anyone in particular. I just wanted to see the Gremlins fuck people up.
Yeah.
I just wanted Mrs. Deagle to die, me.
And fuck the Chinese Undertaker at the end for coming and stealing Gizmo away as well.
Yeah, what a twat.
Prick. Taking a happy little buzz away from this feel-good film.
I wish he had got squirted with toothpaste at the beginning. Him and his fucking real candles.
Fuck's sake. Oh, there we go. I think we'll leave it there. So, yes, that was the UTG first ever Christmas special. We hope you enjoyed that one.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas from me, Merry Christmas from Stu, and Merry Christmas from Kofi. And indeed from this festive Friday Fright Time. We will continue with the festive season next week when we review a New Year's related horror movie. Check out the emoji clues on Facebook and Instagram to see what that movie might be.
What film is it going to be, Connor?
It's gonna be...
You can't fucking say, you prick!
Gaddy!
You nearly fucking did it.
Since it's Christmas, I'm going to thank a couple members of the Ghoul Gang
Oh, let's do it.
for their support on the show. Paul Morris and Double Whopper Cheese on Instagram.
Double Whopper
Double
cheese.
Whopper
Yeah,
cheese.
absolutely
Yes.
love it.
Cheers for your constant comments there. Michael Dickinson as well. He's been doing a few comments on Instagram and Facebook, getting a few shares about.
Salute, Michael.
Connor Ainsworth as well. He's been a supporter of the show since day one. So cheers for that, mate.
How the fuck did he get 8-legged freaks from a picture of a barrel?
Yeah, that's like the first emoji he put out.
Connor, mate,
Yes.
love you. No, not you, the other one.
Oh. You
Ainsworth.
actually hate me.
Yeah, Ainsworth, love you, mate. But how the fuck have you done that? Don't ruin our show.
No, yeah, fucking hell. If you know that you know it, don't guess.
Which defeats the object of the game, but not on day one, pal. You know? You've ruined Christmas.
Yeah, at least wait 3 days. Peter Mallon. Thanks, Peter Mallon. He always comments too.
Ah, yes, thank you, Peter Mallon. Cheers, mate.
I just want to thank Jesus for, well, for Christmas Day.
Of course.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to say I hadn't seen him following us on Insta. Thanks to Leon and Jay for being supporters since the start as well. So, yeah, thank you to everyone in the Ghoul Gang. If you'd like us to say your name in an episode,
20 quid.
Wow.
yeah,
What an
20 quid,
achievement.
lads. Buy our shit.
I know what we need to play us out.
What?
Kofi, Jigglypuff impression, go.
Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff.
Yes.
That was fucking perfect.
See you on New Year's Day. Bye. I was shit.